Pantry event in 5 minutes. So if you're in line grabbing food, go ahead and grab your food. If you've gotten that food already, we're just going to ask you if you can please take your seats. Good morning. Let's try that one again. Good morning. All right. I would like to welcome you to the Beyond the Pantry event. My name is Frank Kitchen, and it is an honor to be back this year to be your host. And I would like to thank everyone here who is attending live here in Central Phoenix, and for everyone who is back at home watching either online or on their computers or phones. So if you're ready to have a good morning, please give me a big round of applause. All right. Now, before we get started, I gotta let you know, today's event wouldn't be possible without some special people. And if you want to, please put your hands together as I announce our sponsors for today's events. We have the Western Alliance Bank. All right. We have the Rob Walton Foundation. The LaVidge Company. All right. United Healthcare. Desert Diamond Casino, Snell and Wilmer, Bill and Ann Hemlett. Now, I've got to give a special thanks to Bill and Ann because they are our former board members, but also the board chair, and they are underwriting the cost of this beautiful venue. So Bill, and are you here? Where's Bill? There we go. Big round of applause back there for Bill and Ann. Now, they're not going to appreciate that I'm saying this right now, but we have a few special people here who dedicate their time unselfishly to help out Nourish Phoenix, and those are our board of directors. So if our board of directors could please stand up right now and be acknowledged. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. So any board members who are here present today. And then we also have some really special people, and if they are here, I'm going to ask them to stand up. But I'd like a big round of applause for all of our volunteers. So do we have any of our volunteers here?
Can't hear you in the back.
All right. So I've understood that I'm a little hard to hear there in the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up another microphone here. So there we go. So can we hear better in the back? There we go. Now for our volunteers, we want to let you know that Nourish Phoenix couldn't do what we do without our volunteers and their day-to-day work, and they do everything that needs to be done to accomplish our mission. So I want to bring your attention to the table. So if you look at the tables there, there's some paperwork there in front of you. It's that paperwork that I just kind of dropped down on the floor. But we've got a couple things today that we want to share with you. And let's go through each item. I want to tell you, first off, we've got our program for the day. So this program is going to let you know exactly what to expect and what's going to happen here for our program. Then we've got our pledge card. And the pledge card, you can read over that now, but I'm going to ask you to hold off on that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the program. And then more importantly, we've got the placemat. And the placemat, it shows you how you can get involved with Nourish Phoenix. It lets you know how you can donate. It lets you know how you can volunteer. And it also lets you know how you can donate items. Like today, I've got my family here with me. Today, I've got my wife, my son, and my daughter hanging out in the back there. But once the program is done today, we actually have a car full of donations. So you can also make donations here to Nourish Phoenix. Now, if you've got a volunteer group or even a work group where you're looking for a great group to volunteer with and give service to, you can also volunteer. It's always welcome and always encouraged. Now, if you look around the room, you may notice that we've got something a little new this year. If you notice, we've got mannequins all around the room. Have you seen those mannequins around? And they feature, we like to call it high fashion. You've got things like Valentino, and we've even got German designer Dorothy Schumacher. All these items were donated by the community. And with these items, we also have the accessories to go with the items in the back. So we've got jewelry, we've got t-shirts by Estate 48. The jewelry is by Elaine. Elaine, where are you hanging out in here today? Everybody give a big round of applause for Elaine. And then, even if you like to accessorize maybe with like a Coach purse, gentlemen, we can grab these too. You can actually go ahead and get a purse back there, or even in my case, we just got finished celebrating our wedding anniversary, so I might have to look at my wife, Kelly, and be like, hey, Kelly, you know, interested maybe in a new purse or anything back there? Any of the items on the mannequins, any of the jewelry on the mannequins, any of the bags, those can all be purchased today for a donation to Nourish Phoenix. So we encourage you to go around and check out everything here and make a reasonable donation to help us out. But now, on a serious note, our clothing closet at Nourish Phoenix, right here in downtown Phoenix, has been short on seasonal items. As we move into winter, we're please going to ask you to consider donating your gently used clothing and shoes for someone who could really use it. I'm also going to challenge you to do this. In your neighborhood, if you ever hear your neighbors or friends saying, I've got all this old clothing, I have no idea what to do with it, or even at the workplace, you can start a clothing drive at your workplace in your neighborhood, and you can bring that down to Nourish Phoenix. And if you collect enough items, I'll let you know this one, Nourish Phoenix will even send a truck out to you to gather everything. So you could be the collection point, call up Nourish Phoenix, and they will send a truck out to you if you've got enough items. So go ahead and help us out here during the holidays. And to begin our program, please allow me to welcome to the stage our Nourish Phoenix board chair. Put your hands together for Kathleen Clark. very welcome.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you very much for being here today. I've been involved with Nourish Phoenix for 6 years and on the board for 3, and a volunteer during that whole time, as well as getting my kids involved. And what I'd like to say is just a little story of one time when I was volunteering at the front desk. A young woman came up and she was in tears. And she said, "I've been trying so hard not to come here. I really don't want to be here." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because I shouldn't need help." And when I looked across to her, and I'm getting chills now, I said, "That's why we're here, so that you can use us for the food and some of the clothing for your family, and then you can use the money that you would have needed for that to do something else in your life so that you can move forward." And I just want to share that moment with you because that's why we're here, to help those who are also helping themselves and to help those who are in need. And the stories are so varied of every person who comes through our doors. So because of you, we're actually able to make this happen for a variety of people in our community. So thank you very much for being here. Please come and volunteer, get to know the people that are coming through the doors, or donate if you can. But really, thank you for being here to support our mission of serving our community. Have a great breakfast.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Now, I've got to ask everybody, how was breakfast this morning? Wonderful, all right. So if you don't recognize him in the back, our breakfast today was courtesy of Chef Jeff Krause, so give him a big round of applause. Now, you may know Jeff from being the owner of the Crepe Bar in Tempe, and he's joined us again this year. You also may notice, Jeff, how many...
For 6
Let's try this. There we go. See, it just went out. Jeff, you're just so famous, like it just knocked out the microphone there. But I was saying, you might have seen Jeff on the Food Network, so you can talk to him a little bit more about that one. But Jeff has been with us the last few years, and he's always contributed to our Think Inside the Box campaign. And that's where we had local chefs actually go to the food bank, get food boxes, and use what was in the food boxes to create meals, and he actually left the recipes with us the last couple of years. So Jeff has been here supporting us for years. And today, he's going to be, are you going to be whipping up something for us a little bit later, Jeff? They're going to be making some buttermilk pancakes. Now, it sounds kind of funny because you're a crepe guy, right? Yeah, I mean, so you're supposed to be making crepes for us today. So why are we doing buttermilk pancakes? Okay, so it's the American version of the crepe. Now, if you look next to Jeff, we've got Colleen Hallberg. So, Colleen, did you bring your husband with you today? Okay, so where's Bruce? Is he here? Oh, so Bruce is up front. Oh, yeah, I was talking earlier. So Bruce is actually eating, right? So I believe you and Jeff are going to be cooking together. Is that correct?
I think so.
All right. Now, do you cook, Colleen, or do you just help cook?
I do sides.
You do sides.
Entrees, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to make the pancakes. So what sides? Are you going to be sprinkling some berries on there? What's going on?
Yeah, I can do the blueberries.
Okay, you can do the blueberries. Now, your quality control, so is Jeff doing a good job so far?
He made me put gloves on, so yes.
All right, so she's got the gloves on. She's ready to go. So Colleen, that sounds wonderful. So I know we're all set back there for the wonderful breakfast. Thank you for being Jeff's sous chef, all right? Making sure that you keep him in place. And then also, everybody, because Jeff is cooking today, and he's going to be something good, so we'll go back and get those fresh pancakes. He also has pledged a special gift himself. So Jeff is going to pledge, Jeff's not going to pledge, you're going to pledge. For anyone here at home, if you pledge $5,000 or more today, Jeff is going to donate a private chef dinner for 10 people. No, did you hear that, Jeff? You heard the whoa. Okay, that's right. So 10 people. Now, it's something special, and the case is, if we have multiple $5,000 donations today, we'll put it into a drawing, and we will let you know. We'll contact who the winner is. We'll put it on our social media and let people know what's going on. So just something to consider. So as you're eating those pancakes, those American crepes, and you want to make a $5,000 donation here to change lives, please help us out. Because I don't know if you know this, our customers have increased by more than 22% this year. And to date, we've already served 24,777 people as of October. I mean, you can give a big round of applause for that one. And we once thought that serving upwards of 200 households a day was a lot, but now we're seeing 250 to 300 households per day for people seeking emergency food and basic necessities. And with everyday expenses in housing and food increasing, people need to offset those costs. This is the core of our mission. And speaking of food, we have one of the largest food pantries here in Phoenix. So, what do we have in our food boxes? If you've never been to Nourish Phoenix, I think you would be a little surprised. Throughout the years, Nourish Phoenix, we've invited multiple chefs, as I said earlier, to participate in creative, innovative dishes, and from what's available in a typical food box, we called that campaign Think Inside the Box. Now, if I remember last year, like when I came down, Beth, you had just some really good, like the wasagi beef, right? Something going on like that. I mean, you never know what shows up down there. But when we did this Think Inside the Box, we were trying to educate customers the different ways we can cook the ingredients, but also bring awareness to the nature of food insecurity in our community and dismiss some of the misconceptions of what happens when you visit a food bank. So we're making world-class meals with what was in those boxes. Now, with 1 in 5 kids living below the poverty line, which is less than $30,000 for a family of 4, you today can help those in our community living paycheck to paycheck. The boxes that we distribute are filled with the goodness. And as we said earlier about the whole inside the box, if you ever want to volunteer to come and help put those boxes together, they can come and see exactly what's going on. Correct, Beth? Yeah. Now, our food and clothing services help people like Chauncey, who is a customer to the Food and Clothing Bank, as well as the Food and Resource Center. I'm excited to have Chauncey. Is he here today? Oh, okay. So we're going to play the video. Okay. So we had Chauncey. We wanted him to be here, but he couldn't make it today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you see the screen right now as we allow Chauncey to introduce himself and how Nourish Phoenix has helped him with his food insecurity.
Yeah, I was in New York and I'm set in New York, but I was out there one day and I just said, man, I know it has to be more to life than just being in the same place, same neighborhood, same friends you went to school with. I wanted to see something new, so I was like, I'm gonna go out to Arizona, go out to the West Coast and see how it is. My grandfather, Wade Davis, he passed away, God rest the dead. He was in a famous R&B group called Fergus Davison Lee and also the Times, and he was the songwriter, and also he did choreography for James Brown. So that was a big staple in our family and in our legacy that I just got involved with, and I just love music. Some of the things that I like to write about or say poetry about is things that are gonna uplift and not tear down. So our words are very powerful, and how we use those words is gonna shape this world. Right now, we need more positivity going out and more hope, because there is hope with different places and people coming together and realizing that our voices are the most powerful gift that we have. And instead of using our voices to tear down, we should actually use our voices to build up. What I'm striving for is security, and I'm also pushing for the next generation. Right now, I'm building things that are not going to just affect me, they're going to affect other people in a good way. So right now I'm trying to build that up. I'm working on things that are going to better our country, better our community. I grew up in the streets, you know, where it was a lot of stuff and pimps and people selling drugs and just that hustle and bustle life. But I knew that me being through that type of stuff, that wasn't me. I wanted more out of life. Here I am today, working with Nourish helping me, and I'm in a good position now where I'm able to start to leave a legacy or something behind that's going to be good. Since I've been coming here, a lot of good things have been happening for me. I've been getting all the resources that I need, all of the connections that I need. I mean, Nourish is just doing so much for the community, and I'm so happy for this place being here. I was able to make resumes, get plugged in through Indeed. I had jobs coming in left and right. I mean, I had enough food to get through those rough times when I was in between jobs. The people here are so nice. They're so loving, so kind. They make you feel like you're at home. And when I came over here, it was just like, man, they helped me with everything I needed. They helped me get on my feet, helped me get some resumes going, plugged in, and now I got a job, you know. They provide toiletries. They provided me with bus passes, gift cards, boots. I had work boots, sneakers. I'm ready to roll, like all the clothes you need. My favorite part of coming to Nourish is the environment. The environment, the energy, the love that they show is the best part. I dream about changing the world, you know, changing the world in a positive way. That's all I think about, and uplifting people and just creating that type of lifestyle that I like to live, and it's health and wealth.
Yeah, you can go ahead and clap for Chauncey there. Now, Chauncey wanted to be here this morning, but he just couldn't make it down. But we wanted to share his story with you because that's just one of the amazing stories that we have here at Nourish Phoenix. I mean, there are stories where people have come in as customers, then eventually became volunteers, and in some cases are actually working for Nourish Phoenix right now. I mean, that's just how amazing that this organization is. And as you can see, Nourish Phoenix is here to help build a pathway out of poverty. From all of our programs as well as our classes and workshops, we provide a one-stop shop right here in Phoenix for many families seeking assistance as well as social and learning activities. Now, I think we need to check back in with Jeff and Colleen back there to see what's happening back there in the kitchen. So, hey, Jeff, you know, my last name's Kitchen, so I got to say it. What are you cooking up?
Okay, so the buttermilk pancakes are looking fluffy.
The buttermilk pancakes are looking fluffy, but I see there are people there with plates. So you're the chef. You're always going to say that your food is great, but what are the people eating it saying?
Well,
they're great. All right. Now, Jeff, are you one of those chefs who says that it's got secret ingredients, or are you willing to share?
oh, you know me, Frank. I'm going to share.
You're going to share.
Yeah.
So what's the secret to great buttermilk pancakes? What's the secret?
Making your own buttermilk.
So how do you make your own buttermilk? Help us out.
Super simple. Take whole milk.
Whole milk.
Take 1 cup.
1 cup.
With a little shot of distilled vinegar.
Okay,
agitate
distilled vinegar.
it and let it go.
Distilled apple cider vinegar, just any vinegar?
Distilled vinegar.
Distilled vinegar, okay.
Agitate it and let it sit.
How long do we have to let it sit?
20 minutes.
So you let it sit for 20 minutes, and that's all we need to go do. So any pancake recipe, as long as we do like the milk and distilled vinegar, we've got great buttermilk pancakes.
That's it.
That's it. But 20 minutes, nothing less.
A little bit more or less.
So Colleen, you got that?
I got that.
Okay. Now have you tried any of those pancakes?
Not yet.
Not yet. So you just get to watch. You don't get to try.
Later.
So Bruce gets to try them, but you don't.
I think so, yeah.
Now, Jeff, I got to ask you a question. I mean, you are a business owner. You've got a very popular restaurant. I mean, restaurant owners don't take any time off. But you're always here to give back and help us out. I know you've actually come down to the location. You're here at the event every year. I mean, why do you do this? I mean, you could be doing 10 million other things. Why do you give back?
Oh, man. I'm just thankful for the opportunities that's come my way, and I just want to pay it forward. And it's just about connection and, hopefully along the way, inspiring other people to like lend a hand, because you can see it takes a lot of people to build a strong community, and I just want to pass those good vibes out and make a difference,
Awesome. I mean, and then also, you said paying it forward. I know we're not planning to do this part there, but obviously you make American, crepes, but when you make real crepes, where can people find you? Where do we go find the real crepes?
Man, we're in South Tempe. We just celebrated our 12th-year anniversary in July. So we're on
12-year anniversary, everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So South Tempe, Rural and Elliott.
All right. And then is there anything else you'd like to share with people about Nourish Phoenix? I mean, why did you get involved with this? I mean, how did you find out about Nourish? And, we just want to know why.
Well, I got a phone call from Chelsea from Consult. Somebody help me out with the business name. Consult what? There you go. She hit me up and she asked me if I knew Beth. And I told her I didn't know who she was, and she told me about the campaign, Think Outside the Box, or the Pantry box, and she kind of gave me the rundown, and she gave me a little bit of insight about Beth, and she's like, this is one of the most inspiring, the most genuine people you'd ever meet, and I think you guys would vibe, and I think you'd be a really good fit for this campaign. Would you be down? And I say no more. Tell me when and where, and I'll be there.
Awesome.
And that was it.
Well, Jeff, we got to thank you so much for always giving back and helping us out. And then everybody, it makes the chef feel good, but we can have like a little double dipping action going on right now. When you get a chance, before the program's over today, go back there with Jeff, get your pancake on a plate, take a picture, a selfie with him, and then post it up on social media, but tag Nourish Phoenix to let people know what's going on here at the event. Let them know what you've learned, and also encourage those people, your network, your community, to pay it forward also and ask them to give back. It's pretty easy. Just have them tag Nourish Phoenix. You can even put in the link for our website for donations and encourage your community to give back, because that's how we share the rich history of community and caring that goes on right here. That's how we get people to volunteer with Nourish Phoenix. We need you to go out and educate and advocate to make sure more people can help us help their families that are dealing with struggles like finding a job, feeding themselves, taking care of their families, and we need your help right now. Now, if you're interested for more information, if you look on the placemat right there on the front, it'll talk about how you can get involved. There are also resources on the table in the back of the room. Back there it says Nourish Phoenix. They'll also let you learn how you can help us out. There are many different ways that you and your network can give back, and all you have to do is say, hey, I want to help, and then we'll let you know exactly how you can help us. But to educate you on more than that, because she knows it all, and her energy is going to inspire you to really be a part of the Nourish Phoenix family, please put your hands together for our Executive Director, Miss Beth Fiorenza.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I didn't hear you. What? There we go. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Your time means more to us than you know. And so, how do you make people happy? I needed some inspiration for this morning, and I do this in different ways, but this time I went to TED Talks, which made me happy, right? I learned some things. Some of them made me laugh. And one thing I learned was that people who give money are happier, right? Giving is equal to feeling that you have 2 times as much income. I'm not making this up. This is research by Elizabeth Dunn, and she has a TED Talk. Even toddlers exhibit joy when giving to others. So more on this later. So what's happening with Nourish Phoenix? First, I have to give a shout out to Jeff for the American crepe. Jeff, that needs to be a new menu item, the American crepe. Yeah, okay. That you just coined that phrase. Jeff and I have been friends, I think, ever since I walked into the restaurant and met him for the first time. So he's like my brother, so thank you. And thank you to the board of directors. I don't know if we did that this morning. Did I miss that? But we have an awesome board of directors. Can you guys wave? There you are. And former board, wave. I know a lot of you are here. Thank you so much for your time, and they spend endless hours planning and talking and thinking and doing all the good stuff for Nourish Phoenix. So I'm usually the one that I'm a glass half full kind of girl, and I don't like being negative or talking about negative things. But there's a reality out there in our community right now. We have a higher priced housing, not a lot of affordable housing, and the price of food is still high. On the radio this morning, I heard that Phoenix food prices are up about 25% since the pandemic. And I can tell you that people are hurting. We are becoming a big, unaffordable city, dare I say like LA, very quickly. And why should we care? This affects all of us. People are having to move from the urban center to the outskirts of the valley to afford any type of housing. We hear from our customers every day that they're having to move or they can't afford the home or the apartment they've been living in, sometimes for generations. This is hard on people. They work in the city, they work at the stadium, they work at our restaurants, the hotels, our schools, and they are our caregivers. Moving puts more stress and more expense from getting to point A to point B. I can go on, but you get where I'm going. This is a change on our entire community. Our numbers reflect this. People need more help. As we said earlier, we thought 200 people a day was our max in serving those coming in for emergency food and hygiene and job assistance. And now we're seeing over 300 people a day. We have 9 staff members at Nourish Phoenix. So we're a small but mighty group. And we have all the wonderful volunteers that are here today. Volunteers, raise your hand. I see you up front. They do the hard work every day that needs to get done, whether it's in the food pantry or the clothing closet, the Job and Resource Center, the sorting of all the donations that come in. This is the important work we do every day. Our customers are trying to stay in their homes and apartments, and they're coming to Nourish Phoenix to extend their dollars so they can love where they live and be happy. As far as the impact we are making, I think we said earlier we're at a 22% increase. We've served already 24,000 individuals this year. And that's a few thousand more people than last year, which is a lot. It's a record high for us. It's the first time in many years that we're serving over that 300 people a day. And we're trying to do more with less and bring people a little bit of joy each day in their life. In the office, last year, I talked about an elevator. That elevator is 99.9% complete. We have one more thing to do, right, Tom? Where's Tom? Tom is the architect. There he is. One more thing to do, and we will get our certificate of occupancy, so I'm told, and we can ride this elevator. And we'll have a first ride event. Let me assure you of that. As this project has been more than 2 years at this point, but we're super excited because this means we get to elevate and do services on the second floor, which is exciting because we can expand and do some things upstairs that we can't do now, which is great, and it will allow us to do more. We're moving on to renovations on the second floor eventually, but I think we all need a break. I need a break from construction. For our families, we have seen some extraordinary transformations. Our first family highlighted at this event was Rosa and her family. And some of you may remember Rosa. They were eating mac and cheese at the dinner table in the video. And the kids were small, and they were so cute. Now, Rose's son is at ASU, I believe in engineering, and he's a first-generation college student. Yeah, clap. We say that we help break the cycle of poverty, and he has done that. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but those of you who know me, just yesterday, Liz and I were talking to a client, and she said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "Well, you volunteered for us, right?" And she said, "No. Last time I was here, I was in a wheelchair." And she has a lot of different issues going on in her life. But she said, "Look at me now." And she did a little dance and a little two-step. And Liz and I connected later, and we couldn't believe it. When she was in a wheelchair, I didn't think she'd be out in less than a couple of months. And here she is dancing in my lobby, and she lost weight, and she's looking great. And it's just those stories of transformation that we see every day. So if you haven't been to Nourish Phoenix, come on down, volunteer. It's a great time. We make it very fun. Your gifts make an impact. Our partnerships have quadrupled, including a Gifts in Kind program that we've started with Stardust Building Supplies. And we're bringing in new product for the first time at Nourish Phoenix in our store. Or in our shop. We have much more than clothing now. We've had plates, we've had Stanley water cups, we've had new Nike shoes for kids during the school to go back to school in, and that's just fabulous. Our Job and Resource Center has grown to full capacity. We're helping about 80 people in the Job and Resource Center. A full load for one case manager is around 30 to 40. So we're talking to the city of Phoenix about a partnership with their Arizona at Work program to bring in another case manager to help us out some more and help our customers out some more. We do all this work, like I said, with 9 staff. So our partners, our volunteers, our programs, it's all because of you and your donations. The staff work really hard each day to deliver services. Thank you to those that are here. Mary's here somewhere on the back table. We order enough food for our growing pantry. As many of you know Francisco, we work with volunteer and corporate groups to ensure that we make people happy. What's the return on the investment, you ask? Your donations keep people in their homes. You feed empty bellies. You help children get to school and be prepared. You help a single mom with no transportation get to work. You support a young man with job assistance and work clothing and shoes for his new job. You give those with disabilities a place to volunteer and a place to give back. Seniors come to work for us to re-enter the workforce and learn a new skill. And many of you volunteer because you want your community to be the best place it can be. I leave you with this. By giving today, you will live longer and you will be happier. And we will all feel like millionaires. Thank you for all you do and what you do for our community.
All right, one more big round of applause for Beth, because I've got a chance to stop by all the time, and I don't know, she works hard, and volunteers and employees, Beth is there all the time, isn't she? She believes so much in the mission, and even now I'm going to have to make a joke there, Beth, about that elevator. I mean, if anybody ever watched that show Big Bang Theory, your elevator is almost going in that direction, but yours is actually going to open back up, so I know that's going to open up more opportunities. But we'd like to show you something special to you right now, because Beth shared a lot. We've shown some videos. We've given some facts and information. But we really want you to understand who we are, what we do, and whose lives that we touch. So I'd like to introduce you to Anthony and Prince. They're a father-son duo here at Nourish Phoenix.
A little bit about myself and where I'm from. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. My name is Anthony Hall. I just turned 40 December 20th. I just came out here to try something different. I had a mother and a sister out here, and they told me to come out here. The weather was bad where I'm from, so I said, hey, might as well come to Arizona and try something new. And I've been out here ever since. Growing up in Norfolk, it was very hard. We grew up in very poor conditions. I grew up in a single-parent housing. You know, I was adopted myself, so I don't really know my mother or my family. So I just grew up, you know, I dropped out of school in the 8th grade. You know, I lived a pretty rough life, started going into the streets, selling drugs, in and out of prison. You know, I think when I had my son, that's what made me slow down and say, you know, it's time to settle down and change my ways. I'm gonna tell you, you want the real truth, the hard truth. Prince's mother gave him away when he was, just got born. You know, I just got out of prison and I was coming home to take care. I came home to 10 grand in a place. And before I could get all of that, his mother gave him the CPS. So I fought CPS for 2.5 years. So it's just been me and him for almost 3 years now. It's amazing. I see what single mothers go through. It is amazing. It's a struggle, but it's worth the struggle. I love being a single father as far as the joy I get from what I teach him and, you know, just him being lively and happy. You know, I love being a father. I love that he keeps me out of trouble as well. So he's my savior. And a gentleman at Cass was telling me about Nourish Phoenix because I was asking where I can get food boxes. And they told me, go to Nourish Phoenix. And since I've been here, these people have been great to us. I mean, they help us out with everything: toys, clothing, grocery, what else? Blankets, sheets, all our house essentials that we need. This place has been a major help for us. I just hope, for one, that he be a man of God first and foremost, and that he love himself, love his family, and love people. And just, like I say, I can wish for the financial stuff, but he'll get that regardless. I want him to be an outstanding person in this world, making contributions to society. I didn't have nobody to have the patience with me. I didn't have nobody to sit here and tell me, hey, don't do that. Hey, I love you. I was abandoned. So it's a big difference. I'm able to give all that I didn't receive. I get able to give it all to him now. And that's the biggest blessing. Sometimes I look at myself outside of being a father, and I look at myself as a little kid who has a father. I look at myself as my son and say, man, you got a dad. And I feel like me being a dad is actually me having a dad now. So it's a blessing. It works out best. Everyone here has a sense of joy coming from them. When you come in here, they make you feel like, hey, we really want to help you, and we're not gonna judge you for whatever help you need. So that's why I love this place.
I don't know about you, but hearing Anthony, can you just like hear his love for Prince and his voice in that video? I mean, to, you know, have somebody love and care about you is just, you know, everyone's whole world. I mean, and that's important for Anthony. I mean, for me as a father, I understand that. Today, my wife is always talking about, hey, what are we doing to keep the kids involved? So in the back, I've got my wife, Kelly, back there in the pink jacket. I've got Elijah and Olivia. But we're doing the same thing. We're always trying to figure out how can we be involved? How can we be active parents? How can we let them see what we're doing? And in some cases, in the case of Elijah back there, he's actually come down to help volunteer at Nourish Phoenix. So we always got to keep those opportunities available, because think about Anthony right there. For 2 years trying to fight for custody of your child to be a father for the first time. How much of a struggle is that? How tough is that to be there? But to recognize that there's a place that you can go that's not only going to help you find a job, but put food on the table and in the mouth of your child. Isn't that great to have a place like that to go to? So, I mean, that's part of what our story is. It's to transform lives. It's not just about food. It's about transforming the community and make sure positive things are out there. We're sharing these stories with you because I've got friends who say, Frank, when you watch the news, there's a lot of negative going on out there, correct? But they go, there's more positive than negative. We just have to make the time to show it and share it with people. So everything you've heard here today, make sure you're sharing it with people. And if you don't believe me, I've got one more video to share with you right now because I want you to feel good about what you're hearing today. So let's go back to Chauncey because he's got something special for you because you remember, Chauncey talked about it. He was smiling about it earlier, but he says he comes from a musical family. So let's see what he's got in store for us right now.
This one is a freestyle, and I'm going to call this Nourish. I'm encouraged to nourish the land that I stand on and produce anything that I ever put my hands on. Because now is the time to advance. No more being a little boy, I had to grow up and be a man. Switch up my plans and tell them that when I start flying like an eagle, there's no time to land. Educated plan, writing it down with my utensils, because I'm innovative and anything that I have, I don't have to mention. I'm in a whole different dimension because I give and I show love. But they'd never seen that, that's why I'm trying to take them up above. You gotta plant seeds, water it, hit it with the light. Tell a kid that he can make it, that gives him the strength to fight. Or that little girl that didn't have a mother. You could teach her, she could be the mother to her brother. I mean, come on, we gotta step in and try to help one another. Instead of just trying to hate and take, because some people always want to move around like snakes, but not me, because I seen the American dream, but I said this dream is great. So God's setting up my plate. So I'm ready to do it, because I said even if I got to move it, I do it state to state. I used to want to just get cake, but now I'm trying to give something real, because there's too many people running around and you could tell that they fake. But the people who real in the community that show love, nobody hears about them. Nobody want to show love. But me, this is that big bro love, that old love. Like when you met somebody and you came together. See, you got to be that person that stand next to that old homeless person and hold up an umbrella. Sweeter than Nutella. I'm telling you this venture that I got. Because I'm trying to take you to the top, something they never seen, that's something they could never stop. Because I'm like a freight train, but I'm only going for the good. Man, I used to be that knucklehead that was always in the hood, but now I'm up to good, and they say, how could he make it out? Because I had a different mind, a different heart, and a different route. I ain't have to pout. I turn my smile upside down so I can show them that we could turn this world around if we just get in position. I wasn't wishing, I had to show them I was a different edition, because everything that I do it, I wasn't hoping and wishing. I started pitching this way and transform in my mind. I was like a butterfly in a cocoon. I said all I needed was a little bit of space, give me some room. Coming in like a platoon, not a goon, because everything that I seen that I was standing in Arizona, I blow through like a monsoon. But instead of having the dust, I came with the water to bring the water of life, because everywhere I go, I'm always thinking of something right, because I know I ain't trying to fail like that. I got to fight for sights that was out of sight, but you know I'm too bright, like a night light, because I got to keep on going. I got to stay precise. I got to teach the kids how to read and write, because nobody want to be there for them or care for them for real. They just want to say what they say, but Nourish is the place that provides the meals, so you know that it's real, it's signed and sealed. One day I have a deal, because everything I'm doing I give people the chills. It ain't about the meals, it ain't about the fakeness, it's all about this life and what you make it.
Now, I know if Chauncey was here, you probably would have given him a bigger applause than that one, so I'll see if I can get him out here next time. But we just have to let you know, you've watched this video, you've seen everything on the table there, you've seen the people who like to partner with us, and Nourish Phoenix has great partners. And those partners help us help so many families. Hearing their stories really shows you the impact that we are making. It's my privilege to ask all of you today, and those of you at home, to make a financial investment. So if you look on your tables right now or at home, you had that envelope. there is a pledge card. I want you to go ahead and pull those out right now. And we're going to ask you today if you want to support our mission by becoming a member of our Future Makers Club. Because when you make a donation or a gift to Nourish Phoenix, you are investing in people's future. So we'd like to encourage all of you to join this club simply by investing on a monthly or regular basis for 1 year or more. So what could you give for 1 year? Now, if you've been inspired by what you've seen here today, we need your help to support our ongoing operational needs at Nourish Phoenix. And I invite you to join this Future Makers Club. Now, remember earlier, Jeff said that he's going to give a dinner for 10 for anybody who pledges over $5,000. So if anybody can write that on that card right now, they can pledge that $5,000. We'll get you into that drawing for that $5,000. And I got to let you know, we got Jeff there in the back, and I've been throwing a lot of love to Jeff, but no chef does everything by themselves. So they're in the back right now. You got to give a big round of applause because they've been helping them out. Can you please give a big round of applause for Chef Sean and Josh, who are back there helping also. Now, with those pledge cards, you're going to see a couple things. I'm going to walk you through it right now, and we're going to start right now at the top of that pledge card. Now, if you look at the top of the pledge card, it says Section 1, and it says you can become a monthly donor by making a pledge. So the pledge is just saying, hey, you know what? I would like to give this type of money to, or this much money to Nourish Phoenix. You'll see suggested amounts, and your contribution will go towards our unrestricted operating funds for Nourish Phoenix. Now, the good news is that by becoming a donor, you may not have to spend a dime. Nourish Phoenix is eligible here in Arizona for the charitable tax credit, and those amounts have increased this year. So, I'm not a CPA or an accountant. I don't claim to be one, so if you got any questions, you can reach out to them, but I'll walk you through it a little bit. In 2024, the tax credit for someone who files a single status was $470, and if you're filing jointly as a couple, it was $938. This upcoming year for 2025, the tax credit is going up, and for singles, it'll be $495, and for couples, it'll be $987 when you file jointly. Remember, this is a dollar-for-dollar state tax credit, so you can designate that right here to Nourish Phoenix, and that means all the money that you get all will go back to when you file your state taxes. Like I said, I didn't explain that too clearly there, but what's going to happen is talk to your CPA, but what happens essentially is when you make that donation, you can get a tax credit. So on your taxes, when they say, did you make any charitable contributions, make sure you write down Nourish Phoenix. Now, after that, if you're not considering the tax credit donation, please consider rounding up. Yeah, we could say $495, but go ahead and say $500. Instead of $987, go ahead and say $1,000. Our families need you today, and if you can provide just a little bit more, you're showing that you've got a big heart to make sure that these people have a thriving future. Now, I want to bring your attention to those last two check boxes there, and it talks about contributing per month, or I'd like to make a pledge. So as you look at those, say you want to give $5,000, you can say, hey, I'm going to pledge $5,000, but that would be only $417 per month. Or you could say $50,000 gift. I'll let you figure out what the monthly piece is going to be on that one. If you'd like to give $1 million so Beth can take care of that top floor of the building, we'll take that one too, right, Beth? But the case is that can be spread over the course of 1 to 5 years, and something even as simple as $5,000 can provide a lot. I mean, Jeff, you made that contribution right now. I mean, how many people do you think that we could serve, how many meals for $5,000? No, there's got to be a number.
I mean, I don't even know.
You don't even know.
Can I phone a friend? Beth?
You can phone a friend.
Beth, help me out.
You can phone the guy named Kitchen.
Kitchen, help me out.
All right. You would actually be providing 25,000 meals. So something as simple as $5,000 would provide 25,000 meals. So every dollar counts here. Now, when you go to Section 2, it says you can make a one-time donation. So we'd love for you to give regularly, but you can also make a one-time donation today, and you can fill out that area. That's Section 2. You can also make your donations online. This should pop up on the screens for everybody at home. But you can visit our website, nourishphoenix.com, or you can text Nourish, Nourish 24, so Nourish 24, and you can do that to 5355. So if you want to go new school, just text 5355, Nourish 24, You can also use Zelle. The information is right there on the placemat. And we'll take your money anyway to make it easy. On your pledge card, on that table placemat, there's a QR code. Pull that QR code up. We're going to make it as simple as possible for you to make a donation. And if you're joining us today to be a member of the Future Makers Club, please hold your hand up right now and be recognized. So who's going to make a donation for 1 year or longer? Can you raise your hands up right now? Let's give these people a big round of applause. I got someone over here to the right side. Thank you. For the people at home, if you're making that pledge, take a selfie on your phone right now and go ahead and tag Nourish Phoenix so we can see that you're joining us here, because we want to thank you on behalf of the low-income families that we serve. Whatever level of support that you provided us today, we ask that you make that pledge as soon as possible, that commitment as soon as possible. And perhaps there will be some great ideas for us. So also on that card, I believe there's a blank spot. Right, Beth? Is there, can I share some ideas with us? Yeah. I mean, so if so, please check that box and says, please contact me. I've got some thoughts. So a lot of us will say, hey, you know what? If I was volunteering, if I was do that, here's how I would help out. Here's what I would do. So if that's you, then we're going to ask you right now, check that box and we will contact you and we'll ask what you feel we can do to help. Maybe you know some companies or groups who are willing to help us out, support, make donations. There's so many different ways that you can help out, and we're going to ask you for that help. So please complete that pledge card. There's an envelope right there in the middle of the table, so once you complete that pledge card, pop it right there into the middle of the table. If that's too difficult, we have our Nourish Phoenix table there at the back. You can go ahead and drop that pledge card off right there. For those of you at home, just drop it right there in the card, get it mailed back to us, or go online to help us out. And as I wrap up today's program, I'd like to thank all of you on behalf of everyone here at Nourish Phoenix. That includes our board, that includes our team, that includes our volunteers, and most importantly, that includes the thousands of families that we serve every year and every day. Thank you for coming to listen to us today, to learn, to contribute, and to help us transform the future. We respect your valuable time. Thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate all of you for being here today. Please give yourselves a big round of applause, and thank you so much for your support of Nourish Phoenix. And even though we're still alive, I'm going to go back there to Chef Jeff. Do we still have more of those pancakes left?
Just threw some blueberries in them, so get them
and you
now.
threw some blueberries in, so we got some blueberry pancakes. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we have to go to work and go back to our lives, but that food is back there for you. So guess what? If you need to, go ahead and grab some food, take that back to a coworker or family member, and then go back there. Most importantly, give him a little knuckle bump. Thanks, Jeff, for everything that he does here to support Nourish Phoenix. And it may make her cry, but on the way out, too, please give Beth a hug and thank her for the hard work that she does, too. Oops. And I forgot one more announcement. We are having a table in the back for our pop-up marketplace. Please check out the mannequins. If you'd like to make a donation and buy one of those ensembles, please go ahead and do that. We also have our jewelry for sale in the back. These are all donations to Nourish Phoenix. We have our State 48 t-shirts, and we have those Coach and Gucci bags in the back also. So go ahead, check all those items out before you leave. Please help us make a donation here to transform lives at Nourish Phoenix.